everybody, it's Matt and Dyan. Welcome back to OK Aussie.
Hi.
Probably ADHD
Rest
edition
day.
because it is nighttime now.
Yeah, but it's been rest day.
You've been really good. I'm sorry, but you've had to be. You know.
Yes, I
Rest
had
and
a
recuperation's
few
important.
nocturnal seizures last night.
A few.
Heart rate went down to 30.
30
My
beats per
doctor's
minute.
written a letter to the hospital. So, fun.
That was after the really bad seizure I've actually had yesterday afternoon. You were falling asleep by 6:30, 7 o'clock last night.
I had to keep myself awake by eating a lot. Well, that's my excuse.
That's not even my excuse. But no,
I don't use skinny filters. So
no.
What I eat is what I am. So I do try and be a healthy person.
I'm glad you said that.
I do eat a lot. I'm sick of skinny filters. It's upsetting me.
That's probably going to be today's topic, the subject of today.
Is it? See, I'm going with him tonight. This is going to be trouble, isn't it?
It's always trouble.
Are you going to dob on me?
I'm not dobbing
on
you.
No, I'm joking.
Now, Dyan, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Please.
Dyan is autistic, ADHD, OCD.
Friends.
So
We've
am
got
I.
cool kids here, don't we, guys?
We're the cool kids
Comment below. We are the
She
cool
also got a
kids club.
genetic condition, 22q11.2 deletion syndrome.
Yeah,
that's an umbrella term. That's what causes
that's
all of that and
problem.
so much more.
Just a little bit of a problem.
But we
Not
are focusing in on the autism and the fact that you're a YouTuber being autistic at the same time.
And that is not an easy thing to do.
It has a few challenges. But even more to that, there is a characteristic for autistics that make us, well, for some of us anyway. We can't speak for everyone because if you met one autistic, you've only met one autistic. So each and everybody's very different. Let's acknowledge that.
I used to have freckles.
It is a spectrum.
I used to have freckles on my nose.
I know, sun kisses, honey.
Sun kisses on my passing.
Now,
they went away though.
One of your key characteristics.
I was like, Pa, they're gone.
This is the ADHD mode. She is like herding butterflies, trying to bring her back into the fold for the conversation. Can we do this?
I can.
Would you like a fit? I can lend you my fidget toy. Do you have your own fidget toy to be able to focus on? Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for fidget toys because for executive functioning, they do actually help to zone in, to focus your concentration about what we're talking about. Now, I was talking about one of your key characteristics as an autistic. It has been with you since ever I've known you.
I was born with it, actually.
Well, you would have been because you're born with autism. So you're born with the trait as well. It hasn't changed.
I'm born with 22Q, so I'm born with autism.
Yes.
Zoomies.
See,
that's why I'm zoomy.
That's Maximus. Would you like to go Zoom with Max and Willow? No? You sure?
My Maxi Moo Moo. My Maxi Moo Moo.
The original OG Maxi Moo Moo.
The OG Maxi Moo Moo.
So, I want
Willow.
Hello, Willow. We want to fight. Willow and Maxi are our two Ragdoll
They are
cats.
playing Zoomies tonight.
She should be out there zooming with them, trying to do videos at this time of night with her ADHD off and about tangents. Let me refocus, if we can even possibly try and do this. I was talking about one of your key characteristics, which is honesty, integrity, righteousness, truth fighter.
And what's wrong with all those things?
And staying in between the lines when you paint and also when you park a car. Nothing's wrong with those things. I totally get it.
But it seems to me the world does not get it.
I don't think the rest of the world perhaps understands at this stage maybe autism, but they certainly doesn't understand the righteousness approach to things. But how does it affect you when we put it into context of you being a YouTuber and some of the behaviours and actions that occur maybe by some other content creators out there that may be...
Oh, yes. I've had a few issues lately.
That might actually steal your ideas or your content. Or use artificial intelligence and other things that maybe don't come across quite as authentically and true to life as you'd like it to be. You like what you see is what you get.
I'm very upset.
She is actually.
Now, it's very conflicting because I've had one YouTuber who does not do this. Well, I hope she doesn't.
Right.
Because I highly respect her.
You'd be shook if she did.
And if she does, I'd be like, girlfriend, you don't need to because you are perfect. And what I mean by perfect, when I say perfect, is perfectly imperfect, meaning
you're not to be perfectly imperfect.
Whatever you are is cool because unconditional, you know, now this person isn't my friend, this person is a YouTuber, so you're not friends, right? It's just
it's not a parasocial relationship.
Yeah, you just know of the person of their channel. That's all you know. You don't really know them. But basically what I'm saying is it's even to that person that she's as a YouTuber, it would be like, you don't need to do that. Like, you're super cool.
It is.
Super got it together. Super perfectly imperfect.
Love what you're doing, yeah.
Everyone's going to be jealous of you.
Right. So you're cool.
I don't know why you're worried and why you would do that, but I don't know, because it's an epidemic.
Okay, so what is it? What is this epidemic?
Skinny filter.
The skinny filter.
Yes, it's cheating. And also, why is it needed is my issue second to that. See, why?
I'm not worried about it because I am what I am. Perfectly imperfect. Sorry if you don't like me, scroll on by.
I just
That's how it goes.
get it, guys. I'm sorry. It, like...
There's a lot of pressure. Is that what they're affected by?
I don't know, because my people,
Mm.
whether it's my professional carers that I have,
Yeah.
whether it's family, friends,
Yeah.
I judge them on how they treat me and
Ah.
others. And
What they bring to the party, how they show up, and what they actually do.
Yeah.
Their actions is what you gauge a
I
person
don't
on.
care what size you are. And in fact,
Not by the
I
artificial.
don't see it. I've
You
had
don't see
people
colour,
say,
religion,
like I've
nationality,
said to
creed.
someone, oh no, that person's slim, and they're like, are you okay in the head? That person, they're not slim.
What's that TV show?
I don't focus on that. I'm very autistic to the point where I'm focusing on taking anything,
You are.
social storing it,
Yep.
getting some versions out. Guys, I am a manual car. I am
She
not
actually
an
is.
automatic.
You need to
There is
kickstart her in
a
the
lot
morning.
of steps that have to go on in my brain
There's a lot of work that goes onto this.
To
Trust me. To
think-
make this happen.
for the cognition to turn around
Right.
and for things to come out of my mouth.
But
I was a non-verbal at the beginning.
I'm going to pull out a point that you've just made,
Hell.
that you've seen people and someone said, didn't you notice that they're a bigger person or whatever else? And no, in all genuineness and, all honesty and all integrity.
Genuinely, they don't
the
believe
answer
me
is no.
too. But they don't believe me.
No.
That's why he's saying that. And I'm like, no, guys, legit.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
you look through the outer shell of a person, like I said, it's regardless of gender, race,
and also,
sexuality, creed,
guess what?
nationality, whatever else.
I know it's
You look at
weird,
the person. Okay.
but we studied SEX, you know?
When do we do that?
X generation. Okay, my mum,
Right.
when I got my period, just went, here's some pads, bye.
Right.
And then I cried,
Yes.
because, you know, I'm a sook.
Yes.
Anyway,
And?
so I had my shower, because I was about to anyway.
Right.
And then I went and sat on my bed and I cried and I cried.
Okay.
And I guess my mum thought, oh gosh, I have to go and do the thing. Because my mum's not very maternal, you know, really. Like she was
Not
very...
really.
Yeah, like she's like,
Raised
can
by
you
wolves.
just raise yourself, please? That'd
Yes.
be rather convenient if you
Okay.
could self-serve yourself.
Yeah.
And like, she sat there and she's like, it's a wonderful thing, you're going to be able to have babies. I'm like, ew. I remember asking you at 10 where they came from. Now, this is when I was like 14, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I remember at 10 you told me that it actually even hurts too and where it comes from. No, children, I'm going to be a nun.
I love the body language.
No,
and
I
things
said I
that
was gonna
she
be a
just said. If you haven't noticed it, just rewind about 15 seconds. Just have a
That.
look at that behaviour and what she just did.
Do that at school a lot.
Did you? Yes.
That's-
Hiding,
No,
masking what you've got there, maybe.
But I used to go fully under. My teachers are like,
Yeah.
I can't really undress this child to get to her. And I was like, I know it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing it.
Okay.
Because I'm just, I need that magic cloak. That's why Harry Potter is autistic. But anyway.
Well, Hermione on Harry
So
Potter
is Harry Potter.
is very much
So
autistic.
is Harry Potter.
Okay, it's the female representation of autism. Go and watch Harry
And I
Potter.
love
if you haven't
Ron
watched
too.
Rawlings.
And
Ron
basically,
Weasley, yep, okay. So, how does that happen with the first part? So when we're talking about skinny filters, I want to say focused on that for the moment. And obviously there's a lot of YouTubers,
it actually upsets me because
TikTokers who use
it's
these
a-
skinny filters, which is the camera filter.
Yeah, because it upsets me because I walked into the gym shower rooms of my school when I was about 15,
No.
and I found a good friend of mine. Well, she was in our group, and she was, you know, fairly new to our school, but we got to know her really well, really
Right.
quickly, and she was such a gorgeous friend
Yeah.
and such a lovely girl. and I found her passed out on the floor.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so I got shocked, and luckily walking behind me was the female phys ed teacher. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. I'm like, what do we do?
How
you
do
know?
we deal with this situation? Yeah.
And yeah, like what ended up happening was we all ended up being pulled in. That us girls got pulled in and sat down, had this conversation with this phys ed teacher that she had an eating disorder that was going on, and she hadn't eaten for a long time, and that she'd passed out.
The pressure is very real, not just
and
in
so
your era, but still today.
I'm very defensive because when I had an eating disorder in teenage years, it wasn't on purpose. Mine was from autism, meaning anxious, could not eat in front of others.
I get you.
Second to that, was fussy with food, so I couldn't just eat what was from the canteen and do all that easily. I had to have what's from home, and what was from home, if it wasn't provided, then I wouldn't eat it because it wasn't familiar, so I wouldn't eat.
So you had your routines, and
I had
food
many
routines
issues
of very specific
with
taste
food,
and
then
texture.
I couldn't eat in front of others for a very long time, which caused me an eating disorder.
Throw into that you also had gastroparesis your entire life.
And counting calories came after that.
Okay, now
and gastroparesis,
OCD
exactly, like I actually stopped eating and drinking at 9. So if you really want to look at my eating disorder, because disorders aren't all about, oh my God, I want to look like the girls in the magazine.
No, so it wasn't about the aesthetics.
So eating disorders mean that kids that have aversion to food to the point of malnutrition. Okay, so when I was 9 or 10, probably closer to 10, I just stopped eating and drinking because I was throwing up so much from food, which is gastroparesis.
Gastroparesis is good.
From eating what everyone else around me was eating.
Gastroparesis is a dysmotility of the GI tract. Dyan, not just being autistic, also has hypermobility, and that comes hand in hand. If you've got the EDS side and hypermobility.
And I had hyperemesis of audience during pregnancy.
Yeah, exactly, as well. So it all ties in together. In fact, it's actually about 20 to 25% of female autistics will have eating disorders.
And I have an actual aversion to throwing up. So go figure. Now, I'm
not
just, I'm not, but since my gastroparesis has got worse, I'm very used to throwing up because it's a common occurrence.
Well,
if
it goes
I
hand
eat
in hand
a
with the condition,
full
doesn't
meal of
it?
any kind and cheat,
Yeah.
it comes back up and I swallow it again. I know it's gross. Some people will vomit into the toilet. But I will only do that if it's a large amount that I can't control.
Right.
But basically, it is just the worst thing ever.
It is. And having that acid too, also, it's very deteriorating.
Burns.
It actually creates, little
I make sure I
things
rinse
of the
out my
throat
mouth.
and the dysphagia side of things.
You get burning in the throat. Red sore
not
throat.
good at all, those sores, unfortunately. Affects your teeth as well.
The skinny filters have really upset me.
Yeah,
and I
so
think
this is the tie-in. So it ties into then how you see yourself or how others see.
No, like I don't feel like aesthetics to me are as important as what I'm noticing in others with social media. This is why it's concerning me.
Well, I think...
Why are you all so concerned? Like, look, being your weight is your choice. I'm sorry if that hurts someone's feelings, but it's true. Unless you have, and there's exceptions to the rule. You women going through perimenopause, girlfriend, it is so hard. You're going to put on weight. It's going to be hard to get off the weight if you're trying, and even if you're doing the best thing ever. There are people that do have medical conditions that cause weight gain.
There are certain genetic conditions that
do
cause weight gain.
There is hormones in women that some families of women...
Medications that you may be forced to be on. You have no choice of being on those. Some of those medications also lead to weight gain. So keep going. I'm interested.
I was listing them.
Keep going. What's more?
So hormones for women is a big one, and women are the most conscious of their weight. So this is what makes me sad, is because these are the things, and then also convenience food. If you're going to indulge, you're going to have the consequences. And it's about discipline. And I know that a lot of people that aren't from X generation, where we were kind of over-disciplined, the millennials were under-disciplined. That's just an opinion that us X-Gen have, and you guys can have a completely different one if you want, because, look, everyone's upbringing is totally different anyway.
Absolutely.
No one's the same based
on
generations. But I'm just generalizing here. I'm stereotyping. So basically, X generation, we're very disciplined. We were always told, if you eat that second piece of cake, you're going to get fat.
Yeah, true. I remember
You need to go for a bike ride because you've had too much food, kids. Off you go.
Yep, walk after dinner, that sort of thing.
That's basically what we were raised like. Now, I don't consider that abusive at all. You might, that's your opinion. You're allowed to have that. But what about you? I don't know if did you feel like that?
Oh,
if your mum was saying,
absolutely.
no, you're overeating, go out and play some cricket, do something because you're just going to put on weight.
Always, whether it's even subliminally, always encouraged towards healthy behaviours, healthy eating.
In the sport,
drinking
and the
the
food.
healthy stuff, but certainly the activity.
Yeah.
And for a male who's very much, and look, I was naturally sporting, I was specialised in sporting stuff anyway, so that was a no-brainer. But I'm very interested to see the actual impact that it has even for you today. And look, we already know that we are bombarded by messages on media. 10,000 images a day we see, which is just
and there's
marketing,
fast food on every
marketing.
street corner.
It's
like crack cocaine
bus goes
everywhere.
past. It's exactly it's on the back of a taxi. It's on someone's t-shirt. The
And I'll
branding,
tell you what,
the awareness.
I will tell you this, guys.
Yeah.
If you're thinking, oh, but you're a skinny person, you have no idea what it's like. Let me share this. Okay, if I didn't have gastroparesis and I could handle eating a full meal multiple times a day,
Should be there.
fancy that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I would be a chubby bumpy. And I'd have to say to him, do you like jelly babies? Because that's what I am.
Actually, too,
I'm a shrimp and I'm going to be chubby. And that's just because I like food. And autistics, we do like food, don't we?
And look, you're a shrimp
do.
because you've got a failure to thrive, which is that small size.
Yeah,
So
well,
you're
let's
small
not
in
rub that
stature.
in, but
I will rub that
it's
in.
true.
And it's okay. And again,
22, cute.
perfectly right. But you have actually had fluctuations in weight along the time, haven't you?
Yeah, because I've had perimenopause, menopause, and now I'm postmenopausal.
Hormonal
Boom.
affections. Yeah.
You'll get there, ladies. And if you're where I am, woo!
Celebrate.
We did it,
Yeah.
right? I pumped out 2 taxpayers. Woo! No stitches, nothing.
Yeah, did it the hard way.
Normal birth. And the second birth, they screwed up the epidural. I still want to sue. No, I'm joking. I so wish I could, but it's not something you sue over.
Yeah.
But literally, I wish I could have given the doctor the same pain for the same amount of hours that you gave me, you motherfucker. But basically, he didn't get the right spot. And when they don't get the right
It doesn't
spot,
work. It doesn't work.
or it can paralyze you too. But
Yes,
that
it
didn't
can be.
happen,
I'm
except
worried about
for
nerve blocks.
my 2 big toes are actually permanently half numb.
Yeah, they haven't
That's a
changed,
bit of
has
a
that?
problem.
I know, right?
But that's from our second child. But
Yeah, lumbar punches.
the birth
Pumpkins.
was so painful because the epidural did not work. They didn't believe me, and they got ice cubes, and I'm like, I can feel belly, I can feel thigh, I can feel belly, I can feel thigh. Oh, and boy, could I feel the birth.
There is actually an inbuilt thing for females to forget the pain of birth so that you go back on
Yes,
and
I
keep
kept
reproducing.
saying
You're
the
aware
whole
of that,
time in
aren't
the
you?
second labour,
Yeah.
I was like, look, I got in at 9 in the morning because my water's broken. I'm like, oh, she's like, you're having contractions. I'm like, really? Because I can't feel a thing. This is really boring. Because I rung up. My waters are broken, but I'm going to have a shower, have breakfast, get my bag and come in. And the nurse was like, no, you're coming in now.
Yeah. Hey,
Because
that
in
would be
those
stat
days, they were worried
ASAP.
about infections with your waters breaking. So I was like, I got off the phone. I turned to your mum.
Yeah.
That's rather inconvenient. I'd really like a shower before I'm about to really get messy.
Sorry, honey.
If you know what
Someone
I mean.
is taking control of that situation.
You know, and your mum's like, and she's got towels between
She's
my
a
legs
nurse,
because
so-
she's a nurse because it was gushing. And I was like, yeah, I guess we better go.
All right, now we've been on other tangents, and this is what you do so traditionally very well
And boy,
with
do
ADHD.
I shoot it out quick. He said,
Okay.
hour and a half. Don't
Yep.
get caught in traffic, sweetie.
Not again,
And I was
but
like,
that's okay. We've had the
"Thanks,
vasectomy,
mate,
so there
but
won't be
I
a third
can't
one.
have any
I'm
more."
just letting you know on that one. But
What
she
an
can't.
idiot.
The
Don't
doctor
get stuck
said,
in traffic.
don't have any more children, you will die.
Yeah, but this was a different
And
doctor that was
that's
doing
part of
that.
the process
He didn't
as
do
well.
the delivery, actually. Midwives do
Yeah.
it, but the doctors come in and check.
Yeah. Now, as I'm trying to
5
rein you,
fingers, 5 toes.
I'm trying to rein you back in to refocus. You have actually got yourself upset quite a bit lately because of what you've been seeing on the TikToks,
Skinny filters.
on the YouTube. Well, that's one part of it is the skinny filters, and It
What else
is
have I been
artificial
saying?
intelligence, if you want to look at it that way, because it makes people appear something which they're not.
No, but it
False
adds
advertising. Yeah.
to everything being fake now.
Right.
You know, everything.
Yeah.
My generation is just, if we had eyeliner, mascara, and lipstick, we were whores.
Hey, that's terrible. Was
No,
not.
and it was.
Right.
We look, and I didn't wear makeup because I wasn't.
That might be that Catholic upbringing I'm thinking is coming
No,
through.
just some of my friends were whores.
Okay. Let's leave them alone. Oh, there's no filter on this one at the moment. That might be the
Not all of them.
coprolalia in
Just
the
some of them.
Tourette's. Let's be
That's
careful of
about
that.
half and half.
All right.
No, I went to purity class, excuse me.
I know.
And what did I do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways,
Yes.
I was a good girl. All the boys asked me, but I said, you're my friend. Like, that would be weird.
Okay.
And they'd look at me and they're like, oh, okay. I did that to about 4 boys at school. I'm a bitch.
You're autistic, Hattie.
Anyway,
You're
I
not
wasn't
quite socially
ready. I was
aware
like,
of
ew,
the
boys.
social interactions and the relationship processes that
thank
happen in
you.
that adolescent age group.
Ugh.
Right, so apart from skinny filters, I'm trying to keep you focused around this.
Then when I turned 18, oh, it really changed.
There are other things that happen.
I discovered boys.
Oh, I'm losing the plot today. I can understand why I have in the comments, so many people just love the fact that Dyan goes on 5, 6, 10 different tangents, and it's like, yep, this is what it's like living with Dyan.
What about
Exactly.
the TikTok guy with the chopping block? Oh, every chop, it just makes me go, huh, huh.
Oh, honey, that is
I
pathetic.
know.
Really?
It's that easy.
That sounds like that single mum saga again on
She
TikTok.
shows me.
I know.
She introduced me to bad content.
Right. Now, what have you also felt about people who are content takers, who take your
Oh
ideas
my,
and new
that's
concepts,
what,
your
well, I have been
ideas,
saying that to you.
your
Okay,
naming
he's got a good
conventions,
point
you
there.
use... It has actually been upsetting, but and look, we know we're
it's
we're
not
a small
upsetting.
channel.
It's
We
upsetting.
get that.
It's not upsetting.
Yeah.
It's pissed me off.
Okay, it has. And in its
Because
rarity...
no, it's a philosophy thing.
Okay,
So it's
explain.
not about
Why
like
is it
the
a philosophy?
literal side of things, because
Right.
it's like, well, you know, it's just going to be seen as what it's going to be seen. People also notice patterns and they'll realise,
Yeah.
oh, this person did it first, you
Yep.
dickhead. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, you're a copycat. So it's going to backfire. It always does, doesn't it?
Mhm.
When people do things that are just...
People see the
And
OG,
look, guys,
the
I'm
originator.
not looking at copycats in the sense of copying trends. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Copying, you know, get ready with me. I'm not talking about those
Nothing's
basics.
really original.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about really deep, personal, like full on, like right, obvious,
Mm.
right? Like you do a video and a week later you go,
We've seen that with some
sorry, you're
content
shitting me?
producers
You're
who
shitting
have
me,
done
right?
it
You're
multiple
shitting
times.
me.
Yeah, I
You're
agree.
shitting me.
I understand.
But I'm just gonna say, like, there's one of mine that's not doing that. So
Yeah.
but the rest of them are. So there's
Okay.
it's only one of mine that's not.
Right.
Oh, and there's another one that's not, I don't think.
Okay.
But she doesn't post anymore.
Right. But it's obviously quite prolific, is what you're saying. It's happening quite a lot.
Yes.
A lot of
like
content producers do this
yes,
regularly.
and,
Right.
and also when you become a creator, they don't want you following them anymore. I had someone unfollow
Okay.
me twice.
Oh, they've
I felt like a
unfollowed you
stalker,
for following
because I
them.
thought, oh well, I've set up this new account. You know,
Yeah.
maybe I just haven't like done the follow of them, and then I go and follow them on my new account,
And you know you've done the action.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, no, they unfollowed me. I'm like, oh shit. Well, I didn't know this kind of bitchiness goes on.
Really? Actually, no. I should have social.
I
stories,
was
but
like, what?
We use social stories a lot to actually
Use it now.
explain the concepts to Dyan as an autistic, and
Now
particularly
that's
as an
only
autistic
can be done
female.
on TikTok, guys. This isn't on YouTube. That's
No.
on TikTok.
So in TikTok, the channel owner, the creator, can actually
can
unfollow a
unfollow
person who has
people.
subscribed to
Yes.
them. No, it doesn't happen in other channels like Instagram or.
No. Oh
other
yeah, I don't
things.
think
No,
Instagram you
it doesn't.
can
No, it's
you?
only in TikTok, which is a nuance of that particular channel.
But anyway,
But as I was saying,
like
we
it's
do use-
irrelevant to in that sense.
Mm.
To me, is the principle. It's like first off, it's like, what the fuck does it mean?
Right.
Like, what the fuck does it mean? And second to that, it's like...
In some fields...
Copying someone else when I was at school was a no-no.
Okay, but that's like plagiarism.
So...
But in certain fields...
Okay, so
copying
explain
someone
to me
is seen...
social story mean.
Well, I don't know if you can actually. So...
Really?
Well, what I'm going to say is copying can sometimes be seen as a flattery, as in it's a positive affirmation of... They think you're wonderful. We want to use your ideas because you've done so well. But is there any attribution to that? Have they gone back and said, you know, we acknowledge content creator X and said, well, we've used their ideas because it sparked my imagination and we've done our own way, our own variation.
Wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, attribution's an important thing to actually recognise and acknowledge. It's just like if you were to sit down and write a cookbook and you steal everybody else's recipe. Well, that's another person that did that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? There's the analogies. If you were to take someone else's recipes and put it together and say, here's my cookbook of all my own recipes, but I didn't actually make them. It's someone else's recipe.
That's why
but it's got my name on it.
That's why I always make sure, with one of my favourite YouTubers that I've followed her since the beginning, I bought one of her T-shirts, but I always mention when I wear the T-shirt how wonderful her channel is.
Because you've genuinely followed her.
Giving you guys a rundown so that you know whether you might want to follow or not, because everybody's different. But like, no, like all these other people I've been following for years, it's like, why are you so bitchy? And it's only since I became a creator and they're copying me.
Because it's competition.
They're copying me.
So first of all, I'm going to say to you, and look, I'm speaking from a male perspective, male lens, male goggles. I do see a lot of pitching intra-female behaviours. I don't know if that's a common thing. If you do know, you've seen this yourself, comment below. Okay, I'm just trying to point that out from what I have seen.
Females do get bitchy.
So that happens also
Autistic
in social
girls know that.
And that's what I'm talking about, the social stories. We use social stories to try and help guide Dyan through different experiences. She'll come back.
Because I don't understand
she has an experience. She tries to break it down, and she can't always work through the nuances
isn't it obvious?
of how
Wouldn't you feel embarrassed? Like, I'd be embarrassed to copy someone else's content. It's like...
And claim it as your own.
Yeah,
own
like,
idea,
I just would feel embarrassed. I don't get why this person.
But I think the line's also blurred. Like you said, there are certain trends. Now, in social media, trends are things that you follow and you try and do in your own way, or you're part of. You're part of something. It might be certain filters or certain musics or certain dances.
And normally there's like people that actually spread the name along. Like, I got it from so-and-so, or I got it from so-and-so.
So those sort of like a chain letter approach is expected, normal, and part of the process. But if another big content creator copies what some other big content creator goes, people go, no, Joe over here did it first. Why are X doing it now? It is stealing. It's like plagiarism. It is,
and it's so obvious because it's fine detail stuff. It's
but it annoys you because of your rules, and that's really the focus around this. Is how 100% for you. It's even the smallest little nuances.
Especially when these people are like content creators with so much, like tens of thousands of followers, and I'm like, God, 2,500. Now, that doesn't matter to me, guys. Don't be offended by that.
But a few of those bigger providers...
why are they needing content?
But they're also wanting ideas.
Aren't you making it?
No, but that's the thing. They also struggle creatively for ideas.
So is it like that guy...
Or sometimes they have a social media marketing team who gives them some ideas. And that intern or the person who's working for them to give them an idea has really literally seen it happen elsewhere and basically taken that idea and presented it in the marketing meeting. Here's a great idea. Let's do that. And someone goes, well, that's original. You don't always know the source.
Oh, maybe they say, make sure you do what everyone else in your area is doing so that you can
And some people aren't just naturally creative. Some people may not have the intellectual capacity or capabilities to actually do that themselves. So
this is a job that's like... You do have to have an entertainment side of you. Now, I come from a performing arts background. I have always been, since becoming verbal, animated, as my mum used to call me.
Now, there is a word that we use to express,
before it was like, she's so shy that she doesn't talk.
Well, that was your selective mute
animated
phase.
And I can't shut her the fuck up.
Well, you certainly went from one extreme to the other. It's a bit like autism on a spectrum.
I made up for
it. It can change day by day. Well, she went from never being able to speak at all to...
However...
Where's the on-off switch?
However, isn't there moments where I say, fuck off everyone.
Yeah.
I just need to be like,
you do.
No thoughts.
No noise.
No people.
You need peace.
Just...
You need the tranquility to
Zen.
come in. Zen's a good feeling to have.
Decompression, basically.
Yes,
I
because when it
don't
does
like
get too
people
much, it becomes
all day,
overwhelming,
every day,
discombobulating,
like
and that
24/7.
can lead to meltdowns. So that ain't a good thing,
Correct.
bro.
It can lead to meltdowns, but I still don't understand the coping.
I
So
think.
I've learnt nothing. With I understand that sometimes happens with me.
Well, sometimes there's an exception. So first
But
of all,
it's like, what does it
does happen.
mean?
Let's take the positive. Let's go with the glass half full rather than the glass half empty. Well, let's take it for a moment, just as an analogy. It's people were saying your ideas are
People would follow
good.
you back if they wanted to acknowledge you.
No,
if they
because
wanted
that's
to acknowledge
no.
you,
If
they
they
would follow you back.
but to do so points out to other people that they're not the originator of the idea. So if they were to follow back or make mention, other people go, oh, okay, let's go and have a look at the person who came up with that great idea. And they take all their following and they flock over to you and you get all the subscribers and all the views and they lose
that's
it.
the thing.
Comes
that's
back to
why
the
you
cha-ching,
should.
the dollar signs.
But that's why
views.
you should follow someone and then do those things because, well, if you're a good person like me,
Rules.
I would actually say,
We're just
yeah,
vocalising
sure,
the
like,
rules that go around
this
and Dyan's
person
head at the
does
moment.
this and so do I, so be it. But
Right.
like, I guess it's like, to me, it's like when you're not following someone, but then you do that thing. To me, that's different. If you're following the person, you do that thing, I'd be supporting them going, yeah, creating a trend. Yeah.
But if that,
We're
okay, so let's
without
have a
really
look at
being
that.
an obvious collab. You know
Let's
what
have
I mean?
a look at that though. There's two parts. You
Don't
said
just steal my shit.
you've said two different things. Collaboration is a separate thing.
Collaboration.
That's when you come together as a content creator. You work together on a project and you do a video together and you can both get equality out of that.
I don't work with others.
She doesn't work with others.
No, I'm joking. I do. I've actually got two podcasts coming up with two lovely ladies on two different humanitarian topics.
Okay, so that's in the pipe work, absolutely.
Very beautiful people in Perth that do amazing work.
Now let's come back to what I was actually saying so we could actually work through this. You mentioned the two things.
Yes.
Either A, they can follow you. How do you... So you get a follower, but that person then still takes your idea, go to their channel, creates a video, and they get lots of new subscribers and lots of people liking them and sharing their videos. That doesn't help you get attribution. That doesn't help you gain any benefit out of all your hard work with that idea.
I don't really care. I don't want their people.
Okay.
Because they're people for them.
But they're...
Like, if someone follows someone, you want them to be a genuine follower.
Okay, but how do you get your people?
You want a genuine follower, right?
Right. But how do you get your people in the first place?
You be you.
Right, so you've got to be you. That means you've got to create content, use the algorithm, the search, and people will come up by...
But choose your own content.
Oh, this is becoming a bit of a hard concept to get through.
Okay, but yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Keep going.
Oh, but she is hurting at the moment.
What did I miss?
Oh, you missed so many things. Okay, so how do people find you?
Most people just stumble across this weird chick and go, who the fuck is this? Oh, yeah, she's pretty funny.
But they don't just randomly stumble. There are millions of people on YouTube.
And they stick around.
Okay.
Fuck knows why.
Because there's an algorithm. And the algorithm looks at the content, the keywords, the words that you speak.
Thanks for coming through this algorithm. I hope it wasn't painful.
And they put you into people's algorithms. So that if someone goes, I'm looking for someone that's talking about autism, up you pop.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
I like that.
That works.
Autism people.
That's actually a logical thing. So that works.
Yes, 20Q. Hi.
Okay, so these are topics. ADHD, OCD, Tourette's, things that you talk about in your channel, they become keywords, and people who might be searching on Google, YouTube, or whatever else.
So if I say Shane Dawson, Shane Dawson, Shane Dawson, Shane Dawson, Shane Dawson, Shane Dawson, I might get lots.
Okay, now Shane Dawson, if no one out there understands, is a
Vlog Squad. I love
well-known, long-term YouTuber with lots of people following.
Vlog Squad, man.
Now,
funny.
Theoretically,
funny.
If you
actually, no, it's David Dobrik.
David Dobrik.
David Dobrik.
If you were working the algorithm from an SEO perspective,
right,
you could do
put David Dobrik in there.
No, here's an example. You could do who are my favourite YouTubers as an autistic, and you might have in the name David Dobrik, Shane Dawson, and you might even have snapshots of pictures or little snippets of their videos, and you might do a short little video that talks about, because you're using their language. You go, I love this video that Shane Dawson did about XYZ, whatever he did, one of his most popular videos. that means you're creating a video about his content, his name, his
And
keywords.
then it comes up with his video.
Yep, and it comes in as a linkage, and the keywords come in, and people might find you based on the fact that you're talking about Shane
But how
Dawson.
would someone copying me on TikTok
This is where the
come
T
across
channels
to
come in.
copying me when I'm only on YouTube only?
Okay, so there's an external link.
That doesn't make sense.
Algorithms do transfer. So search in general looks outside of the social media channel that you happen to be in. This is why the algorithm is also looking at your links coming into your YouTube channel. So if someone links from you from Facebook, from Twitter, now called X, of course.
Am I on
and other things.
Facebook? Oh, I'm not on Facebook.
No,
but
but the
am I
more
on
links
Facebook,
that people put to your channel will
Yeah.
help create discovery and create
Okay.
people to find you, if that makes sense. We're now going
Talk
off on a
about me
conversation.
lots.
Do
Just talk
just
about me
about it.
lots.
Share your
Okay,
channel.
Aussie life.
But you're
Okay, Aussie life.
you're wanting to get a grip
Joking.
on how it all
You
works.
don't have to do that.
But also feel okay about it.
Sorry, what?
About people copying, about people doing these sort of things on their channel.
But that's my hairstyles, man. And it's
Okay.
my,
Yeah.
you know, quirky things, and it offends.
Okay. Because there's like a
it's
little bit
me.
of you.
You're taking me.
And you only say that
It
in
should only be
context,
me.
but you only say that in
Single
context
white
to
female.
people. Crazy single wife. But you're saying that in context to people who you know are following your channel, who watch your videos, have never done the behaviours before, and then suddenly they do multiple behaviours of what you've exactly done. Like you said, suddenly
Always.
doing your hairstyle,
Always.
buying something in their
Always.
house, talking about a topic
Always.
which is not related to them in a million
Always.
years that they never talk about. They suddenly do that.
Lots.
They name their first child after your first child. They name their first cat
No.
after your cat.
Okay, now he's getting
Okay,
dramatic,
but that's the
you
same.
know.
That's the sort of thing that we're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you created context around it. You're just getting tired now, aren't you?
Am I?
You look like you're getting tired.
I haven't even had my
What's it called?
melatonin liquid.
Yes, the compound. Would you like some now so I can go get it for you?
Okay, you go get it for
I'll
me.
get it. You keep talking to the people.
I will be totally good
Okay.
while you're gone.
Okay, sure. Keep an eye on it, please.
He looks back going like, what did she do? Nothing. Nothing but net. Okay. Shreds is here a little bit too.
I think the Tress has been here all night, sweetie.
Yeah, the swearing's been bad for about
We
nearly a
apologise
week.
about the swearing, but that is an
But
uncontrollable mechanism
my
neurologically because of
seizures
coprolalia,
have been
which comes from
making
Tourette's.
the Tourette's come back in.
About 5 to 10% of
A
people
little
with
bit of
Tourette's may have
echolalia
coprolalia.
and coproladies
Incoming.
being
And Squirtle. This is a melatonin, which is really helpful, particularly for autistics for getting to sleep. Not medical advice, go and see your own GP or family physician. But this is a compounded high dosage version, 50 milligrams per mil.
the alcohol's strong on this one.
This is your Google Notes. Dyan, take your sleeping tablet.
Breathalyzer. I could do it from 10 meters and they'd go, she's over the limit with this stuff. Woo! This is how they put me to sleep. It's pure ethanol.
Rocket fuel, honey.
That's what the French called it at school.
Tell me the story.
Tell you a story.
Oh God, we're on story
One of my
time.
bogan friends.
Right,
We're a
Aussie
big
Bogan.
group.
Yep.
And we had a corner. And we were the
At school.
foundation students.
Because
the
you're the first
foundation
year, yes.
student, very important student.
The school's just built, so
Okay.
she's the first year
So
that
we
went
had
through.
our
Yep.
corner in the canteen. It was our corner.
Oh, okay. Your space.
And
Yep.
half of us were bogans
Right.
and half of us were surfy chicks. I was a surfy chick, of course.
Of course.
Hanging out at Hillary's Marina,
Okay.
having hot chocolates and stuff as if it's like,
Yeah.
Orange County. We were so up ourselves.
Okay,
It was ridiculous.
Precocious by the sounds of it, or pretentious, yep.
Ridiculous.
Right.
Okay,
So
out
there's the
of
Bogans
control.
and the Surfy Chicks. Follow along with the story as we work this
And-
out. Yep.
What was the topic?
And she's lost tangent already. I think it's
Oh,
past the 9
no,
time.
no.
Yep.
And basically, anyway, this one bogan girl that I didn't really normally sort of hang out with because
Okay.
she was real bogany and she scared me. The way she dressed, it was like, oh,
All
what's
right.
that earring thing? Oh. you wear the cross upside down. That's satanic, man. I
Okay.
know my grandfather's told me about
It's
that.
certainly a bit more goth rather than bogan, but anyway.
Well, she was a bit of
A hybrid model maybe back in those days.
Hybrid. Don't know.
Okay, yeah, back in the
But anyway,
80s, yeah.
she had our school flasks that we used to have back in the old days. Remember
you had
the
a
school
flask?
flasks? You know, the ones you
flask?
open with that
With-
funny lid with a moon lid.
What sort of moon juice did you have in your flask?
Not me. This girl. She goes.
Oh, so it wasn't a
'cause,
school issued flask.
She
She
took
had
a
a
swig
flask.
and she's carrying on, and I'm like, what is that? 'Cause I
Right.
thought, oh, maybe it tastes awful. She's like, rocket fuel, and I'm like,
Oh, a happy juice at
she
school,
goes, do you
right?
want some? I'm like, I never had rocket
So
fuel.
what was she, 12 or
So I
13
took
years
a
of age?
swig, and luckily,
Yeah.
I actually touched it with my tongue. Did not ingest any, because
That's what she said anyway. Keep going, I want to hear where this story goes.
I was a good girl.
Yeah, okay, so you weren't expecting rocket fuel, you were probably expecting some
I
sort
didn't
of...
know rocket fuel was alcohol.
You've
was
got to explain
naive.
to an autistic very specifically
She was
what
a
something
bitch
is.
too. She was a bully girl.
She probably thought, hey,
You
I've got
know?
the goody
like
two-shoes.
a nasty girl. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, have
She's trying to
She's
corrupt
probably
you, honey.
laughing at me,
Probably.
guys. Like literally, this is how
And they
autistics
can-
get bullied.
They can do
And
that,
I
they can
took a swig.
Right.
And like, because I didn't react, because I didn't ingest anything, because I realised it was alcohol, because my mum's tried to get me on the alcohol since 15 too. So, you know,
another
basically
story.
I knew the smell of it as it was
Potency.
going
Okay,
towards
so that's
me,
fine.
and the taste, it was like, oh no, this is not something I want to be dealing with.
Okay.
And so, yeah, she's like waiting for my response, and there's no response. So she's like, well, what do you think? Do you want more? I said, no, it's gross. You know, because I know that alcohol is gross. But yeah, rocket fuel.
Rocket fuel.
I learnt what it was in a bad, very traumatizing way. I went home and I was literally, guys, this is what it's like to be autistic.
Yeah.
And you probably won't tell your
How did you react?
You probably won't hear this from your child. I didn't tell my mum, and I could have. I didn't have like the lack of confidence to tell my mum these things, but I just didn't have the social mastery. I didn't have the social ability to be able to sit her down and say, this happened at school and it's quite upsetting. But I was basically too scared to go to school from then on, because I was like, these girls are like dangerous.
Right, so you felt worried about your safety.
It's alcohol. No, but like, you know when like you're a teenager, they're trying to scare you out of everything, or especially X-Gen.
Absolutely, I get
So
you.
I was scared of everything. I was scared of cigarettes. I was scared of alcohol. Scared of boys. Scared of everything.
And was that scaring part of it as far as the impact of the actual, let's say, the actual substance in this case, or being caught by maybe the school, by being suspended because you're partaking in something which you're not meant to?
No, just like, I'm not going to do anything immoral. Like, no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the right thing.
Yeah, I get you. I understand. I'm
That's
on that
it.
same straight and narrow
That's
too.
it.
I remember it.
All I focused on was like, no.
And you probably like myself, when you go to these parties, so we're both very square, very autistic. When we go to parties, all the other kids around us in our peer group are the ones who are getting absolutely blotto drunk, whereas we're the ones having cordial and cool drink. And
yeah, I was at home watching Hey 8 Saturday with
feeling better not doing that sort of
cheezels,
thing. Yeah.
and like, you know, whatever Coke I've stolen from Mum's, you know, she'd have a Scotch and Coke, but I drink the Coke part. You know, she'd be out with my, you know, her third husband, and you know, she'd be out like doing whatever, and I'm home watching Hey 8 Saturday.
Yeah.
Drinking like, you know, fizzy Coke and eating cheezels. That was my life.
Yeah, what do you like?
Alone.
But were you content with that as far
and
as
Star Trek.
Star Trek, absolutely.
I used to enjoy my Star
Go
Trek.
forth and prosper. So were you content with that though? Did you feel that you're missing out on anything?
I was content because, to be honest, well, look, there was mixed feelings. I wasn't happy that I was left home alone every weekend.
And was that because
of
of the fear factor of being isolated or risk? Or,
no, I didn't see risks. That's the problem.
Right.
That's when I look back. That's why I have sometimes many little nightmares now, many little like freakouts of like, wow,
the risks that you're put
so
into
much
so
could have
many
happened
times.
to me,
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely.
So much could have happened to me not being protected for the mental age I was.
And your naivety,
But no, I was just in the upstairs lounge room, just snuggled in, where the, you know, the TV was for, you know, that was the family room TV. And like I said, I had everything decked out, my favourite pillow, blanket, my cheesels or chips, whatever. I
Yep,
always
you're
liked my
content.
crunchy food.
Yep,
Crunchy
texture
thing
is
is a
important for you.
sensory thing, and fizzy drink, sensory thing, and a
Yep.
thing that my mum doesn't allow me to have because she's a not neat freak. She's also
Health.
a bit of a germaphobe, but she's a health freak.
Mhm.
Like it's actually
Yeah.
a little bit too far. But yeah, basically,
Extreme obsessive
I
behaviours around that, yeah.
enjoyed the decompression time because I'd been school and dancing and everything, and then on the weekends I always had dancing.
Mhm.
So I was a teacher, so I'd be teaching all morning and then doing my dancing. Like I'd do the seniors class and then I'd do the
It's
advanced
actually very
seniors
hard
class
to get
and,
time by yourself, which can be
Yes.
very overwhelming when you're around too much people-y time. And
as
you
an
do
autistic,
need to
you need that
decompress.
downtime, and I would have a meltdown if I didn't get it.
Yeah.
So on
To be able to regulate
holidays,
yourself, yeah.
I remember my mum I think she kind of worked it out in the end that when I'd
Better
say,
late than
no,
never.
I just want to stay, in the bunk bed or in the tent or in the hotel room. I just want to stay here.
Mhm.
You go. I just don't want to. And she'd always treat me like I'm antisocial. This is sort of as a teenager, guys.
Yep.
And I was like, no, I just need you all to fuck off
Yeah.
because I need that alone time.
And there's no awareness or
I
understanding
need that
of what
decompression
autism
time. I didn't have
was.
squishmallows. I didn't have
No.
fidget toys. I didn't have any toolbox. I wasn't told I was autistic. I knew I was developmentally delayed, socially delayed.
And you're forced to be trying to be neurotypical,
Delayed.
which,
Yes.
So
basically,
you can't just
when
fake
I
to
was 16, just 17, my mum and stepdad went to Canberra to live for 6 months. So 3,000 kilometres away from me.
The other end, other side of
Australia.
Yeah.
And I had to cook and clean and shop and work full time.
Be suddenly independent as
just driving a car,
autistic
and in our
female,
day it was
right.
7 lessons. You're driving a car, off you go. Not like these days. And so basically I was working full time, cooking for 3 adults, cleaning and shopping, and I never had all of those duties at once before because I was a child. Okay, when you're 17, you are not an adult, and that is not developmentally normal.
Certainly not for a person who has got 22Q, and as we know
And
now,
I
retrospectively
was
with
very
GDD,
upset.
global developmental delays, IDD, intellectual developmental delays, you're put into that situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that you're feeling very upset.
So I had a very difficult sort of beginning because I tried very hard to please, as I always was as a kid, as a teenager also. I tried hard to please, and of course I couldn't, like I've told you many videos, I cannot please my family. Nothing pleases my family. I'm never good enough. And I know you guys see that I am, and I know that I am, guys.
Yeah,
I do.
Internally, yourself.
But it is sad that my family can't see who I really
or
am.
accept, more
And
importantly,
they've never
the
actually
way
met
you're
who
at.
I really am because they only know the autistic me.
Yeah.
The me that can't express herself. The me that wasn't talking. That's all they ever care to know too. Because in my family, I'm shame. They don't want me. So, I was isolated, but with my autism and with my very busy lifestyle, I was very much into dance. I needed that downtime. Wasn't a bad thing.
No, absolutely.
Because,
and dance was also your break away from...
Well, my dance teacher took me under her wing. Yeah. Because she
That's where you're
knew
able to connect, find your
that
people,
I was not being cared for. And she made sure that anything I needed...
And that was a special interest. You became
was there.
hyper-fixated on a special interest.
And I was a student teacher, so I had to always be with her and my other student teacher, who was, similar age to me, and we got along. We were best friends. That was really great.
And when you have your focus and your special interest,
best
you can get through life a lot easier.
Yeah, I got through life,
So you managed to
and
do that.
those friends got me through, and also my school friends got me through that as well. And funnily enough, my father got me through that as well, which, I know that's really difficult to do, to explain to people this type of life, but even though your parents can be extremely abusive,
Toxic,
criminally abusive, you still love your parent. It is a biological thing. And please just understand that a normal, healthy adult child, regardless of abuse, still wants their approval of their parent and still wants to have a good relationship with their parent. But sadly, most abusive parents don't change. And I'm not talking about sort of, this is talking about genuine abuse, and I'm not saying that like toxicity and dysfunction and problems in families aren't a drama and a nightmare and hard and cause you problems in your life. It's just that there's
a spectrum to this as
well. A spectrum too, where
severity,
I'm at the end where it's just not safe for me to be around my parents, and they don't want me around because I'm the dirty secret. So.
Yeah. And look, you should have been removed because of Department of Children's Services.
That's
you
what
should
my
have been protected.
said.
She should have been looked after away from that environment. It was not safe, and it certainly was not accommodating to you, whether it's for education or health or anything along. So we know that now, and unfortunately, you didn't have that, and you didn't have the protection.
Well, there was people trying to, and there was people always trying to help both my parents, but both my parents are just, they come from wealth, they are spoiled and privileged and lucky, and they just don't know how good they've got it, and they don't know how bad they gave it to 2 of their children because they didn't do it to their next child. But to us, like my brother and myself, I highly honour both of us in what we've been through because we did not have the same life.
Well, tonight's certainly been a bit of a bits and pieces conversation. We have certainly segued from what we originally started on, but that's okay.
Still, I just want to say that to, obviously, if the person copies me, they watch me, you know, I would really appreciate if, you know, you wouldn't. Just out of the fact of principle of like, you know,
we're aware.
Everyone's individual.
You.
You're good at what you do. The funny thing is, I've always liked every single content creator out there, and so I have no issues with people. I have issues with being copied. I think that would be from a stranger or from someone I've followed for years. It's even more disappointing actually if it's someone you've followed for years, because you feel like you've built their platform by following. That's how you get your platform to have a voice, and that voice is a privilege. And anyway, I just think that if you're going to copy me, then just know that it's going to be noticed not only by me but by others.
And I think one of the interesting parts out of this is the nuance that it does affect you.
You're cheating yourself, not me.
Yeah. I think it's, like I said, the nuance I find most interesting is that it does affect you as an autistic because of that righteousness.
Yeah,
and it does
it's just my
you.
righteousness.
You're upset because someone's doing something wrong.
Comment below what your thing is, and it might be a workplace, because YouTube for me, what I'm talking about here is other creators, which means it's like talking about your work colleagues, right? You've got good work colleagues that will encourage you and try and help you, and you help them. And then you get your work colleagues that are like, they try and sabotage you, or they'll steal your idea and present it to the boss, and you'll go, that was my idea, you know. These things happen. Same here. These things happen all the time. And so, yeah, comment below anything that you can relate to. But I'm talking about content creators, and I'm not talking about you, Pam.
No, not at all.
I'm not talking about you, Pam. Like, this is like completely different.
No,
and I'm certainly not talking about any of you that have said to me, "Oh, I'm interested in being a vlogger."
On the note of Pam,
I encourage you, vloggers. I always will, and you'll always be on my
3D print mania. I really like some of the shorts that
we've been watching. Yeah,
Pam's one of our newest
subscribers. The coaster that's got
She's into 3D printing.
It catches
She's
the
in
water.
Queensland. I'm invested. There's
I've never heard of it.
I like the colours in the plant box that she made.
Yes.
The coaster that catches the water, very interesting.
I can't wait to see the plant box out of it.
Do check it out. See what we just did there? Here we are giving you a referral, a reference to another creator, a channel
3D media,
where we think we actually enjoy and like. We're saying go over and check it out.
We love it.
That's the sort of thing that you can do to help other people create discovery and point them in the path.
I want to say, like, Pam, like the one where you say, I guess what it is. You made me watch it a lot because I was like, oh, I gotta guess it. I gotta guess it. I gotta guess it. I gotta guess it. I like it when you do that. So you do that every now and then. Stir us up. I reckon it's good.
All right, guys, we're going to love you and leave you there. Big thumbs up for today's conversation. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. The weekend is coming up. We're going to have a bit more relaxation because you have been OTT and you need to rest.
Well, today I've been good actually.
Mm-hmm.
Considering I've had one of my ADHD carers, but I've been okay.
Yeah, we'll work on that one too.
I
She's been
have.
okay. You have.
But no, like, I'm just happy that for now, until the change of circumstances, I've just decided. You know, I said I was going to have a great big think about everything. So I've decided to use my maximum hours I've got now.
Currently, yep, you got your team in place.
Until the change of circumstances, because obviously they've got to go through it, because with me, I'm in the complex needs team.
Yep.
So, and also with change of, I know that it's been a while, but change of government
There's a lot of
slows
changes
everything
under
down.
the NDS full stop.
And
so.
mine is complex, so I'm glad that they're not rushing
exactly.
an answer.
And we're just trying to keep you out of hospital.
But I've got my schedule
is
going,
important.
and my schedule's going really great. I've got
Of your
2
support
new
staff,
staff. They are both wonderful.
Lovely.
So, you know, as you guys know, like, staff come and go, right? So I've got my staff. It's set for now.
Mm-hmm.
So things are flowing, and I've got my set hours that I'm using, my maximum hours until the NJS, get your shit together, please, because, you know, I'm very sick.
They have been hiring a lot of new staff to try and get things sorted out.
Is very concerned too.
He is.
I'll get him on to you soon.
He's working onto the health department at the moment,
Or
telling
next
them what
is
to
NJS.
do. Exactly.
But anyway, like, I'll get my change of circumstance at some point. You know,
It'll
government
happen.
departments, it's...
Red tape. It's.
Well, I should
like
do
a
it.
snail.
I should do snail.
It's a snail, honey. It's snail's pace.
Okay, so
very
it goes
slow.
kind of slow, but
Yeah.
I will get what I need, because my syndrome is a syndrome that needs this.
Yeah.
I should have got
It's
this a
all
long time
supported
ago.
by
It's
all the
already been
appropriate
talked
paperwork.
about by them themselves. I should have sort of said yes, go for it. But
Yeah.
here I am being
We
conservative.
minimise what we try and utilise,
Yeah,
don't we?
but we are at that phase where we need it, and so we're waiting for that. But at the moment, we've got a beautiful 7-day-a-week plan
Yeah,
of
exactly.
each person on each
That's
day.
really cool.
It's just so cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're going through their training. We're getting some advanced training, which makes our life a
Oh
lot
yeah,
better
and I'm
safer
doing
as well.
because I'm medically complex. I actually feel sorry for them, the poor buggers. They've been doing their own training in general.
Yeah.
Then there's like just other
Advanced
training,
they have
and
to
then
do.
now for me
Our
they're going to do like they've already done epilepsy training.
Mm.
Now they're going to do my training for mine because mine's extra complex. I'm like,
I think
oh,
Brittany,
no.
who's our latest member of the team,
Well, she's
had a
already-
really good view in the last 2 hours of you having continuous seizures,
Her and Namala are
dystonia,
just going to be like,
cardiac, and
I got
respiratory.
this, I got this, back off
If you
everyone,
haven't seen
step
some
back.
of Dyan's critical medical emergencies, go and have a look at some of the videos just to give you some
Look,
context of what
guys,
Dyan has to do
out of
with.
all respect to any of you support workers out there, if you were someone sitting there going, oh, I couldn't do that, I couldn't do that. I've had many that have had to say that. I honour you for saying that. I think that is a great thing that you admit that, because that is important to be like that
Absolutely.
with your person, because I appreciate that. I don't hold any grudges for someone feeling like that because I am a medically complex
We
person.
acknowledge the medical complexity
The risk factors are
and
high.
risks, which is
So
on me to look after. And deal
please
with. Yeah.
don't be shy about saying to a client, like, oh no, this is just out of my scope
capability.
basically. Don't feel ashamed of that, because the carer,
That's important to actually know,
informal
understand,
carer,
and
family,
respectfully.
the participant
You
themselves.
never want to put
they'll
someone into a
respect you
situation
more
that
for
they
it.
cannot manage and
Yes.
handle. Okay, that's
Yeah.
actually a
It's
risk to the
okay.
participant and not fair on that support staff. So
Yeah.
that's why we look for people to have certain experiences, skill sets, qualifications, and we certainly do the
We try and
training
get nurses
to make sure
as much
that
as
they are
possible,
very competent
exactly.
as well.
I mean, we could get, there is like an intense
Yep.
support worker section of the NDS,
Yep.
but we have heard that,
Intensive care needs,
guys,
support staff.
it's just, you don't get as much through that system. It's messier. It's all just, look, we're already in a mess, even though I've got eligibility and it's all so easy for me, but yet I'm still going through the snail
we are trying
process.
to keep you out of hospital at the moment.
But we are trying to do that as well. So
under
it's,
multiple different things. At this
look,
stage. So
you know what
fingers
they need
crossed.
to do? All right, I'll help you out, Health Minister.
Okay, here she goes. She's going
Right,
to help out
let's
the health
get
minister.
this shit sorted,
That will
mate.
be, the Honourable Meredith Hammett.
Just get silver chain to see people under 65. Capiche?
Oh, that's an idea. Yes, that could be a good
Novel,
resource that's already in play.
right?
Yep.
Home hospital, not just for
Home
people
hospital.
who've just had an operation and
Right.
been sent home.
Offer
You could
acute care.
extend that for complex medical care needs patients.
There's an
Okay,
idea. There's an infrastructure already in place.
Done.
So
Save you lots of
Dyan has
money.
fixed the
You're
problem already.
welcome. It will save
So
money.
it's so easy when you get an autistic involved in the situation. Guys, we're going to love you and leave you there for tonight.
I'm good at saving
Like I
money.
said, don't forget to subscribe. We
I
will
am
see
the
you over
master
the
of
weekend because there's
saving
lots of
money.
new content, some really
Waiting for my
interesting things,
Shein
hopefully
hauls
some
to
games,
arrive.
some Sheen hauls apparently
There's
coming
some
as well.
Shein hauls.
Stay tuned. See you guys. Bye for now.
Bye.